Hey guys, what's going on? Jebb here, and in today's video, we're going to be doing some technical analysis on the Bitcoin and cryptocurrency markets, as we like to do here. Guys, we're going to be doing some TA on Bitcoin because I do believe that a Bitcoin reversal and bull rally will be forming in the next couple of days and weeks. We're going to be explaining why on the chart, and it does tie back in, and it does relate to the prediction that I made yesterday that Bitcoin was about to break bullish out of a triangle pattern that it was in, which came true about half an hour after I recorded that video, and came true before the video was actually even uploaded, which was quite funny. You can watch that video up here in the top right. We'll be talking about that later on in the video. But guys, before we get to this video, definitely consider dropping a like and hitting that subscribe button if you enjoyed the video. We make crypto videos every single day here on the channel. Also, if you haven't already, I highly recommend signing up for Binance, amazing cryptocurrency exchange that I use personally. There's a link to do so in the description down below. Not only will you be getting access to an amazing crypto exchange, you'll also be supporting the channel with your trading fees. But let's get right into it, guys. Bitcoin is trading around $67, $75, up from where it was yesterday, up about 4% in the last 24 hours. The rest of the market is even more green than Bitcoin is, to a certain extent. Quite a bit of these green numbers are over 3.5%. You typically see that. The altcoins normally move in the same direction as Bitcoin, but a lot of times they move further in that same direction that Bitcoin does. We see a lot of cryptocurrencies up in between the 5 to 10% region over the last 24 hours. That was really kicked off by that little move in Bitcoin's price that I talked about yesterday. Bitcoin is up about 3.76%. Its market cap is around $116 billion, and total cryptocurrency market capitalization is looking like it's going to be getting back above $300 billion in the next couple of days. That's going to be an important level to watch out for. That's an important resistance level for the market as a whole, and we do want to see Bitcoin get back above those levels and continue to move back towards its all-time high, hopefully. Bitcoin's market dominance is below 40%. We've talked about this in a lot of videos, so I'm not going to go too in-depth, but we don't want to see that get too high because as market dominance for Bitcoin continues to rise, that signals risk aversion in the market, in the altcoin market, people putting their valuation back into less risky assets, in scare quotes, of course, such as Bitcoin. So that's what we're talking about here. Ethereum is up 7%, XRP is up 5.5%, Bitcoin Cash is up 6.5%, EOS is only up 3%. It still hasn't really recovered from the crash that happened right after all of that bullish news after its mainnet launch. Litecoin's doing all right. Tron TRX is up 16%. Good for you guys. Ontology's up 7%. We do see some good gainers here. Bitcoin's volume is back above $4 billion. Yesterday, it was hovering right around $3 billion. That was one of the lowest 24-hour volumes that we've seen for Bitcoin in quite a while, at least as far as I can remember. And a big reason for that was because of this triangle pattern that we were talking about in yesterday's video. Now, before we get into talking about this, I want to explain what this triangle pattern is, how I predicted it, and how I didn't necessarily 100% say that it was going to happen, but I did say that it was more than likely going to happen. So what I was talking about in yesterday's video is this triangle pattern, this symmetrical triangle pattern right here. And yesterday's video was recorded right here on this candlestick, as I have a little line here to explain that. And I said more than likely Bitcoin is about to break bullish out of this triangle pattern, and we're going to see Bitcoin break out. And literally like less than an hour after I finished recording that video, we saw a gigantic green candlestick, and we're going to be dissecting that a little bit more later. But funnily enough, we did see that happen. Now, some people pointed out in the comments that I didn't say for 100% certainty that we were going to see that. I said that it is possible that we break down to like $6,100. I did say that, full transparency. I did say that that is a possibility, although I was very much leaning towards the bullish side, and it turns out I was right. We did see a very big breakout, and right around the time that the video uploaded was right after it cooled off, so unfortunately you guys weren't able to use what I said in that video as a buy signal, if you were. Not that you should be buying just because I point something out, but you guys would have gotten that information if I had have uploaded about 2 hours earlier, but unfortunately it didn't work with the upload schedule. If we come in here to the 1 minute, we're going to have to come in this far to dissect how this breakout actually happened, and this chart, we have to come in this far because this looks to be the work of one buyer. This looks to be the work of one bull, maybe a few more that just happened very, very quickly. But as we can see, the main part of this breakout happened within like 2 or 3 minutes. We're on the minute chart. And as we can see, this mainly happened within just a couple of minutes. So we can see we have some major volume coming in down here right after we broke out. In yesterday's video, I talked about how the way you want to trade this is wait for it to start to break out, see a big green volume candle. If it breaks out, then you buy in. So the time to buy in would have been like right here. You had like a 30-second window to buy in, maybe up to like right here. After this point, I wouldn't have bought in anymore. But up here, you definitely wouldn't want to. But just after it had just broken out of that, that would have been the time to buy. You would have had to have been watching this very, very closely. And I was watching this very closely because we were straddling this downtrend on the symmetrical triangle pattern. And once we did see a solid breakout above it, and with some green volume to follow it, then we would have been able to call that this breakout was happening and that we were going to jump at least several percentage points on Bitcoin. So if you guys were watching the market very, very closely, you could have traded this. It is most certainly very possible, although this was a very short time frame to be trading, and I don't trade on the 1 minute time frame. I don't trade on the 1 hour time frame. I trade on the 4 hour and the day time frame, so I wasn't trading this. But you could have potentially traded this. This is something to keep in mind for the next time. Another way that you could have traded this is after this second little jump up, we kind of expected that it would continue after this little spike, and what you could have done here is see this little green candlestick right here, this little small one right here. You see that big green candlestick amidst all these other tiny candlesticks. That would indicate that another big spike is more than likely about to come. So that's how you could have traded that. But I just wanted to break that down a little bit to show you guys how you could have traded that, because that is a very common little breakout pattern. You do see this happen a lot. As I talked about in yesterday's video, we did see something like this happen in the last time we were around this region. Back in early April, we saw a consolidation pattern, and within an hour we broke out and moved like 6 or 7%, which was a little bit more than this time. But we do see these kind of things happen quite often. So guys, now that we've established what happened in the last 24 hours, let's talk about what I think is going to happen in the next month. What I do believe is going to happen in the next month is that $6,100 was most likely the bottom. I think that was the bottom. There is definitely a very good possibility that Bitcoin falls over here, comes down and tests $6,100 again as a level of support. I'm by no means ruling that out. I don't think it's going to happen, but it is most certainly possible, so be ready for that. If it does, that's an amazing time to buy. If we see a, just to cover yourself though, if we see, let's come out here to the 4 hour, if we do see Bitcoin break below these levels, break down to like $6,000, and we see a gigantic red candlestick, that means that we're probably going to be falling to 5,500 or 5,000. That would be a time to short Bitcoin and actually cash out if you're actually in the position already. But if we do come down there and see support, that's an amazing time to buy. And right now I do think it's a good time to buy also. Not that I'm telling you to buy. People think that I'm telling them when to buy and stuff. I'm not telling you when to buy. I'm telling you when I think is a good time to buy. There's a difference there. I do believe that Bitcoin is about to break off or continue jumping off of this little bottom that made $6,100, and we're probably going to see a continued rally up here to this downtrend for a couple of reasons. One reason is that we do already have precedents for this. We had the exact same formation happen over here in early April, and what did we see? We saw Bitcoin go up and test this downtrend and resistance at $10,000. I think the exact same thing is about to happen here. I believe the exact same thing is about to happen here. And another reason why I believe that's about to happen is because the daily RSI got oversold all the way down to 30. As we can see, Bitcoin fell all the way down to 30 twice within 2 weeks. About 2 weeks, maybe a little over 2 weeks. We saw Bitcoin get support down here on 31 on the RSI in the span of about 2 weeks. So that's something we need to keep in mind. Every time that Bitcoin comes down here to 30 on the RSI, we typically see a rally or a bull run or whatever you want to call it, but we do typically see at least a couple of weeks of green, and I think that's what we're going to see in the next couple of days. With the way these patterns typically play out, what you normally see is the price action bouncing around in between this support and resistance level, and you see something like that. What I'm expecting is for Bitcoin to come up here, touch this level of resistance, and it will probably break it, to be honest. I think we're going to break it. I'm not totally convinced because there's different ways you can look at this chart, and it is, of course, very heavily influenced by news and external factors that we can't see on the technical side of the cryptocurrency market, but I do believe that we're probably going to break it. There's also very possible that there could be some bulls waiting to buy up a bunch of Bitcoin there to break us out of the chart. It is a very big possibility that we could break bullish, and I think that we will. But over the next couple of weeks, like I said, what I believe we're going to see is Bitcoin continuing to rise up here in this little reversal that is set up here, and we're going to continue to rise, hit this level of resistance. If we bounce off of it, that's okay. We can still get support down here, come up here and try again. But within the next 2 months, I do believe that we're probably going to be above this downtrend and looking being ready to try and test resistance at $10,000. If we can get a close above $10,000, that to me is a very solid. Very solid piece of evidence to support the fact that we're going to be, or support the assumption that we're going to be going above $10,000. Well, obviously, and starting a bull run here in the second half of 2018 and the early part of 2019. Like I said, it is also very possible that we come down here and we close below $6,000 and we come down to support around $5,000 to $5,500, or even as low as $3,000. $3,000 would be about an 80% retracement, which is something that we've seen in cryptocurrency markets before. So don't rule that out. I don't think it's going to happen, but I always want you guys to keep all the possibilities in mind so that you guys can weigh what you think is going to happen, so that you guys can make informed decisions for your own Don't do anything just because a cryptocurrency technical analyst says that it's a good idea, including myself. Always do your own research. But anyway, guys, that's going to do it for this video. If you haven't already, go ahead, drop a like, and hit that subscribe button. We do cryptocurrency videos every single day here, guys. If you got value out of this video, you'll probably get value out of a lot of the other videos on the channel. This is a pretty standard type of video that we do here. If you're not already following me on Instagram and Twitter, I highly recommend doing so. There are links to do so in the description, or actually in the description, it's just going to tell you that it is at Jebb on both of those platforms. You can go follow me there. Also, guys, whether you're a veteran or you're a noob in cryptocurrency, I highly recommend signing up for the cryptocurrency exchange at Binance. It's completely free. There's no KYC because there's not a fiat to cryptocurrency gateway. It's going to take you like 30 seconds to sign up and go look around and see if you guys like the cryptocurrency exchange. So go ahead and do it. Sign up, see if you like it. I think you will, though. Also, a fun fact about Binance is that if you use their native token, Binance Coin, then you will get 50% off your trading fees. And trading fees can add up, especially if you're trading larger sums of cash. So guys, go ahead and sign up for Binance. Look around, see what you think. Tell me in the comments section down below if you use Binance, if you signed up for Binance, and if you like Binance. That's going to do it for this video, guys. Tell me in the comments if you think I'm right about the little prediction that I'm making for a bull rally. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.